It's so nice to have with us several prior year ATHENA Award recipients, including Sue Joss, Elaine Reiser, Barbara Arena, and Nancy Gustafson. Let's have a round of applause for our former ATHENA. You know, many of you know that I'm a dad to 3 college-age young women, and I see this award as needed as ever. You know, things have changed in the last 3 decades, but there's still a need. If you look at the numbers in terms of women on boards and executive roles of Fortune 500 companies, it's very small compared to their presence in the workplace now. And when this award was created so many years ago in Detroit, Michigan, in an industry that was mostly around automotive, you can imagine there were very few women. So, again, as a dad to 3 women, I'm reminded that as they graduate, they need women mentors. They need people who are going to encourage them. They need people who are going to help them along the way and give them opportunities. And so I know many people in this room are here for that reason and have either benefited or are doing that with others, so thank you. Appreciate that. Today's program is presented in proud partnership with our hosts at Massasoit Community College. Thank you for your warm hospitality, as well as our valued partners led by Jason Hunter at Mass Hire Greater Brockton, whose daily work in workforce development helps ensure opportunity and upward mobility for all. We are especially grateful for the support of our premier sponsor, Eastern Bank, a longtime champion of economic equality and inclusion. With a legacy spanning more than 200 years, and at one time was the largest and oldest mutual bank in America before they went public, Eastern Bank has consistently empowered women, starting with their very first depositor, a woman by the name of Rebecca Sutton, who was a widow. And she was not allowed to go into the bank to deposit the life insurance check. So from there, in 1818, this bank, Eastern Bank, had been created to abolish gender barriers for the first time and allow people like Rebecca to claim their financial independence and their ability to manage their own money. From the first deposit to more than $2.2 million in annual targeted grants today, supporting issues impacting women and girls from affordable child care to health care access, Eastern Bank continues to lead with purpose and impact. So that's $2.2 million in donations that they make every year. Their dedication to women's empowerment in the workplace and in the community sets a powerful example, and we're honored to have them with us here today as our premier sponsor. We are also privileged to be joined by a true leader in our Commonwealth, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll. Her presence here underscores the importance of lifting up women in leadership and investing in policies that move us all forward, and I'm very much looking forward to your comments, and I loved reading your bio and seeing all that you've done for public service and women. Of course, today is also a celebration of progress, of purpose, and of one remarkable individual. Our 2025 ATHENA Award recipient, Jeni Mather, who many of you know, and many of your pets know even better. Jeni is a visionary entrepreneur, advocate, and trailblazer who has transformed the pet care industry while championing women in business every step of the way. We look forward to sharing more about her inspiring story shortly. But I got here just a year before she started her business, and so I've seen it all along the way. Very impressive story you're going to hear about. At this time, please join me in a moment of silence in memory of past ATHENA Award recipients that are no longer with us. And that is Sheila Sullivan-Jardim, who we lost just this past year, Janice Cunningham, Marianne Robel-Cox, and Christine Karavides. And also from Massasoit Community College, Gail Gibson Sheffield, who was lost suddenly just a few weeks ago. Thank you very much. We encourage you to continue enjoying this wonderful lunch provided by Massasoit while we continue on with the awards program. Before we begin, it's my pleasure to introduce our MC for today, a woman who exemplifies the spirit of ATHENA Award and has been a past recipient herself. Sue Joss is the former CEO of the Brockton Neighborhood Health Center, where she helped build one of the state's most impactful regional community health centers. She continues to serve our region as chairman of government affairs, and we're honored to have her with us, guiding us through the program. Sue?
Thanks, Chris, and welcome everybody. So Thank you also, Chris, for your leadership in bringing us together for this very special celebration. This is always my favorite event of the year, so thank you all. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to join me in a round of applause for the chefs, staff, and servers here at Massasoit Community College. They've prepared and served this wonderful meal, so thank you all for your efforts to make this afternoon enjoyable for all of us. It's truly a pleasure to be here with all of you today, surrounded by so many dedicated leaders and supporters of this mission. As Chris shared, today's ATHENA Award program is more than a ceremony. It's a testament to the progress we've made in opening leadership opportunities for women, and a reminder of the important work that still lies ahead. The ATHENA Award, inspired by the Greek goddess of wisdom, courage, and strength, honors those who not only lead by example, but who lift others as they rise, empowering the next generation of leaders. We know that when women lead, companies innovate, thrive, and progress accelerates. And yet, as we've heard, there's more work to do to ensure leadership at every level truly reflects the talent and potential of all women. That's why today's event matters so much. It's a chance to honor an extraordinary leader, to renew our shared commitment to creating workplaces and communities where all women can excel. Before we continue, I'd like to take just a moment to remind you that green question sheets are available on your tables. If you have questions you would like to ask the Lieutenant Governor later in the program, please write it on one of the sheets, and Chamber staff will be around to collect it. Let them know that you have it. Now I'd like to recognize some of the many individuals who are here today who helped make this work possible. First, I'd invite our Chamber ambassadors, led by Joanne Schneider of Eastern Bank, to please stand and be recognized. Our ambassadors play a vital role in welcoming new members and fostering engagement through the year. Thank you for all that you do. So the ambassadors with us today are Rachel McNeil from Bluestone Bank, Catherine Light from Eastern Bank, Antonio Barros from Northeastern Savings Bank, Richard Hook from SCU, and Brenda Cairns from OCES. So thank you for what you do. Next, I'd like to recognize the Chamber's Board of Directors, led by our Chair, Dan Evans. Chair of the Board, Dan and the entire Board provide vision and leadership that strengthen both the Chamber and the entire Metro South region. Thank you for your service. We have here today with us Dan Evans, Rich Hines, Mike Lambert from Brockton Area Transit, Bill Mitchell, Massasoit Community College, and Scott Sanborn from Harbor One Bank. Thank you all. We're also honored to be joined by several elected officials today, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce them individually so we can acknowledge their leadership and thank them for being with us. So we have from Senator Mike Brady's office, Jim Breton, and I believe the senator also. Mayor Bob Sullivan. Coming. Maybe not yet. City Councilor Jack Lally. City Councilor Shirley Azak. State Rep Rita Mendez. State Rep Bridget Plouffe. And I believe that's all the electeds. Any other electeds that we missed? All right. Thank you all for coming. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a very special interview with Eastern Bank, which has recently announced a merger with a Brockton-based bank, Harbor One. We're grateful to have Eastern Bank as our premier sponsor of this year's ATHENA Awards Luncheon. Eastern Bank has a long and proud history of advancing women in the workplace and in the community, from its very first depositor to today's leadership team. Please join me in welcoming our special sponsor interview. Introducing Kim D. from Eastern Bank. And I'll be interviewing her today. And thank you for being the premier sponsor. Do you want to have a seat? I'll read your bio and join you. Thank you. So Kim D is Executive Vice President of Consumer Banking and a Consumer Banking Director at Eastern Bank. In this role, she has direct responsibility for Eastern's retail, consumer lending, and mortgage businesses. She's a highly accomplished retail customer transformation and business banking executive, and previously spent over 20 years at Citizens Financial Group, where she began her banking career and held roles with increasing responsibility across retail and business banking. In addition to serving as a member of the executive leadership group at Citizens Bank, she was head of the retail branch network, where she led the strategic direction of over 1,000 branches and 6,000 financial experts, driving growth in retail, wealth and business banking product offering, and solutions. She was previously executive vice president and customer transformation director, where she rolled out a customer interactional model across business lines, as well as a digital platform to advance capabilities for colleagues. Ms. D earned her bachelor's degree from Boston College Carroll School of Management. She's a former board member of St. Francis House in Boston and served for 7 years as the Braintree Girls Youth Basketball Division Director. Welcome, Kimberly. And I will join you over here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, welcome, and thanks for coming.
We role played ahead of time, if you can't tell.
Yeah. So, like the Athena Award, Eastern Bank has a powerful history when it comes to supporting women. Beginning in 1818, the first day you opened, when you were one of the only banks in the country to offer bank accounts to women. As a result, more than 80% of your early customers were women, making the startup venture at the time immediately viable. How has this legacy shaped Eastern's long-standing commitment to advancing women, and how do you see this mission continuing with your pending merger with Harbor One as a combined organization?
Great, thanks, Sue. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's a great example, Sue, of just doing the right thing is doing the smart thing. And I just joined Eastern 6 months ago. I just had my 6-month anniversary on Monday after spending 30 years at Citizens. A big part of why I wanted to join this amazing company was just the integrity that they give back to the community, the collaboration they have within their colleague base to do more. And I think about the awesome opportunity we have to join this Harbor One team, or to join our teams together. And Brenda and I were sharing, my partner over here, if we had our strategy in a boardroom side by side, it's just absolutely similar. And it's about creating opportunities for our communities, collaborate, allow all leaders in our organization to bring their best every day. And so I think for all of us in the room, our most important capital are our people. And so I think Eastern and Harbor One are ways that we want to build those opportunities for them to thrive. And I think Eastern has been so committed to female leadership, and I'm just proud and privileged to be a part of it.
Great, thanks, Kim. And as you mentioned, Eastern is so committed to supporting and advancing women from the front line roles right up to your senior executive position. So I was wondering if you could share your own personal journey.
Yeah. So 30 years sounds like a long time, doesn't it? I was joking, I have 2 girls in my household as well. I have 3 kids, 3 girls, 21, 18, and my son's 14. And we were joking this morning about this opportunity for me to join you all this afternoon. I have a birthday next week, and I said, guys, I can't believe I'm going to be 53. And they said, Mom, do you know you're going to be 52? You've been saying all year that you're 52, but you're only 51. So I feel like I just got a year back. So I just want to say that made me feel really good as I left the house today. So I'll be 52 next week. But in those years, I had the privilege of working at Citizens for 28 years and now joining the Eastern family. I would just say, when I think about the opportunities to thrive, I sort of reflect on my career with pride, but it's a lot of hard work. And I think if I think about what allowed me to achieve where I am today, sitting with this amazing group, it really kind of is 3 things. I think one is we talk about this concept of mentorship, which I think is so critical to have select really smart mentors, and that's a lot of work, and you have to pick mentors that it's a two-way street, right? It's being sort of part of that organization. When I'm asked to be a mentor, I'm a mentor for life, and so it's a commitment on both sides. And so I think having strong mentors, both female, and I have a lot of male mentors that help me in my career, is so critical. And I think the important part of that is really, picking folks that I would say are going to give it to you real. They're going to give you those sort of truthful moments for you when you want to call them and they just want to pick you up. Sometimes they're the ones that have to give you the hard news. And so I think having really great mentors is important. And I've been privileged to be on both sides of that. And I think, as I think of my career over the 30 years, that's been critical to help me develop. So that would be one. Two is, I think it's important to sort of create a network, both professionally and personally. So as I started at my professional life, I was, not married. Fast forward, I've got my amazing husband, Kevin. We've been married for 25 years on my 52nd birthday. So, and so it's a partnership both professionally and personally. And I think as I've gone through my career, my priorities have shifted. And I think sometimes you have to find a way to build a network professionally and personally that support you during those times. And through those life's journeys, I'd love to say things are perfect, but you're going to go through some bumps and on a professional and personal level. So you need that network to help support you and sort of meet you where you are, which I think is super critical. And the last is, I just think it's important to give yourself grace. It's, we're all working really hard. I think we spend a lot of time with our professional partners and team members, but we can't do it all. And I think it's okay to ask for help sometimes. And I think, I would just say, not every woman in the room, I think sometimes we often don't ask for enough help. And I think sometimes you feel like that's a sign of insecurity, or people are saying, I can't do this. And I've gotten better at asking for help, but I've also gotten better at just knowing when to say when. And I think understanding where that is and where that balance is really critical. So, I mean, that would be sort of my advice in my 30 really old years of journey.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on gaining that year back.
Oh, awesome.
So the Eastern Bank Foundation and Eastern Bank have played pivotal roles in supporting women in our communities. Can you highlight some of the initiatives and partnerships that have supported women-owned businesses and advanced gender equity in the regions that you serve?
Yeah, sure. Well, first, I'm thrilled that we're a full-service bank, so we offer commercial, business banking, retail products. And I think we're offering wealth management now. We just acquired last year Cambridge Trust, so we have a full breadth and depth of wealth. So I think we can show up for our customers together in many different ways, which was really exciting. And one of those ways, I think we're really proud around the fact that for the last 16 years, we've been the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts. No pressure for the 17th year. But I think that's a way for us to give back, but also it's a collaboration with our small business owners. And Jeni, our amazing ATHENA Award winner, is one of our customers, so thank you, Jeni, for being part of our team. We also know it's not just about giving capital, it's about creating thought leadership. And so I think one of the cool things we have here at Eastern is a Equity Alliance for Business, and it's really about creating collaboration for maybe those gaps small business owners might have that aren't capital related, but it could be about knowledge or opportunities or creating a network, which is exciting. And I think as I joined the organization 6 months ago, one of the biggest things that was a driver was just how integral the community involvement is. I mean, everybody is showing up in their communities in a really real way. And I think we say we're going to do it, but everybody does it in a meaningful way, which is huge. And I think you referenced earlier the foundation that we give back. And it's about creating vibrancy in the communities and providing those opportunities for our colleagues and customers to grow. And so the foundation gets recognized many times, many years for all the great work they do, but it's about meeting people where they are and providing those resources. So those are some other ways. And women throughout that are a big part of that theme.
Great, thanks. So as we celebrate the ATHENA Award today, which honors women leaders making a difference, what advice would you give to young women entering the financial services industry today? And how can employers continue to break down barriers and build more inclusive workplaces?
Yeah. I mean, I think two things for advice. One is, being a part of the financial services industry is, I always say to young leaders, it's kind of a big deal, right? You're getting to help customers, whether you're a frontline colleague helping customers on the business banking side or working in our amazing branches. Everything that we do, from product development to community involvement, we're helping customers' lives. And that's a really big deal. And so I think the advice I would give, is, in particular to young women, is you have to have a voice. Don't apologize for having an opinion. And don't apologize for having a dissenting opinion. Because I found as I've grown in my career, I want to have people around me that are bringing thought leadership, bringing diversity of how we think about things. And as I reflect on my tenure in all the different roles, as a young woman, I think I felt like, you know what, I don't want to be the noisy person in the room. I'm going to be quiet, I'm just going to get my job done. And I did myself a disservice, I think, early on. And I think having a voice is important. Brendan and I are almost the same person about how we think about things. we always talk about the fact that, our colleagues who face off against customers should have the loudest voice in the room, because they're the closest to the customer. And so I think it's really important to have a voice. At Eastern, I'm thrilled the network they create for our colleagues is really something special. We have close to 13 employee resource groups. I'm the proud leader of the Latinas in Action resource group, but we have a women interest group, so it's about creating a community for colleagues to feel safe, to get opinions, to create a network. But all of our executive leadership, we're part of every single one of these employee resource groups, because it's important to have diversity of thought, but also create that commitment to our colleagues of meeting them where they are is really important. Our executive chair, Bob Rivers, who I think was here a few weeks ago, has monthly town halls where all colleagues can dial in and ask questions, get perspective, and we do not hang up that call until every question is answered. We went 30 minutes over this week on a particular one because we want people to hear the transparency of what's on their mind through our surveys, through focus groups, but also create that connection on we hear you, but we're creating action. And I think it's important for all of us in the room to create those spaces for people to offer their perspective.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us and for sponsoring this great event. And thank you for the work that you're doing at Eastern Bank to promote diversity and to promote women in the workplace.
Great. Thanks for having me, and have a great afternoon.
And of course, we have the famous chamber behind us.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Kim, and thanks again to Eastern Bank. It's down to it. So the quote inscribed directly on the base of the Athena statue we are presenting, which is up here today, is as follows: "What is honored in a country will be cultivated there." This quote is by one of the world's best known and most widely read philosophers, Plato, so beautifully and succinctly captures the reason we are gathered here today. The main highlight of today's program is the ATHENA Award presentation. Since the ATHENA's program inception, more than 6,700 individuals from over 500 communities around the world have been selected to receive the prestigious ATHENA Award. ATHENA nominations are sought at the community level, and the award is presented to an individual, most often a woman, who has achieved the highest level of professional excellence, given back to the community, and most importantly, assisted other women along their respective leadership paths. Indeed, this focus on mentorship of other women is what sets the ATHENA Award apart from other leadership awards of its kind. I'd like to reiterate that the ATHENA program is not solely targeted to one gender, and that both men and women are eligible to receive this award. It's through a representative of balanced leadership that communities will prosper, and that involves everyone. Today's honoree will be added to a long list of distinguished recipients, and she's a wonderful addition. At this time, I ask Chamber President Chris Cooney to join me on the stage to assist with the presentation. It doesn't say applause on the screen. All right. It's my distinct honor and privilege to present the 2025 ATHENA Leadership Award to a woman who perfectly exemplifies the spirit and tenets of this prestigious recognition, Jeni Mather. Jeni is the founder and president of JM Pet Resort and Veterinary Clinic in Brockton, Mass., where my dogs have spent many, many, many days. A 34,000 square foot haven for animals and a model for community-centered entrepreneurship. What sets Jeni apart isn't just her business acumen or the success she's built over the past 26 years, it's the way she leads and the values that guide every step she takes. Let's start with authentic self. Jeni's journey began with a childhood dream to work with animals. That passion took root during her biology studies at Stonehill College, where she began training dogs on the side to earn extra money. From those early days of grit and vision came the South Shore's first motivational training and doggy daycare program, JM Canine Training, which would eventually evolve into today's multifaceted JM Pet Resort. Jeni's leadership is grounded in celebrating others. She is quick to credit her team, the 120 professionals she mentors, most of them women. She believes deeply in cultivating careers, not just creating jobs. Whether it's a young person looking to grow, a mother re-entering the workforce, or an aspiring entrepreneur learning the ropes, Jeni sees the potential in people before they see it in themselves. She leads a company where recognition, personal growth, and balance are part of the culture. When it comes to fierce advocacy, Jeni has earned national respect. As chair of the Ollie's Law Advisory Committee to the Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources, she's leading the charge for a thoughtful, safety-focused regulation in the pet care industry. As one of only 75 certified professional animal care operators in the country, she uses her voice and expertise to elevate standards and protect animals and the people who care for them. She's also no stranger to courageous acts. It takes courage to launch a business from scratch, to pioneer new standards, to stand firm in values while building something that's never been done before. Jeni offers proven training methods like PLAYtrain, and she built a business model centered on compassion and connection long before purpose-driven became a buzzword. Jeni embodies the Athena value of giving back. Through her nonprofit, Blue Dog Shelter, she placed over 1,800 dogs into loving homes and raised over $500,000. Her work with Boston dog lawyers and local law enforcement supports both animal welfare and public safety. And her 8 years of service on the executive board of the Metro South Chamber of Commerce speaks to her commitment to business leadership and regional growth. Perhaps most importantly, Jeni is a champion of collaboration. Her business thrives because it is built on partnership with her team, her clients, her community. She understands that collaboration isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. In every way, Jeni Mather is the embodiment of what makes this award, of what this award celebrates. Leadership, integrity, and a commitment to lifting others as she rises. Please join me in honoring the 2025 ATHENA Leadership Award recipient, Jeni Mather.
Not your typical
I invite Jeni to say a few words, and we can put that. This is very heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah. We'll put this up here for now.
Wow. Okay, good afternoon. Friends, family, esteemed colleagues, thank you. To say that I'm deeply honored and incredibly humbled to be this year's recipient of the ATHENA Award is truly an understatement. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Metro South Chamber of Commerce and ATHENA International for the meaningful recognition and for the important work you do every day to elevate women in leadership. To our respected elected officials, thank you for being here, for your support of local leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. A special thank you to Chris Cooney for your tireless leadership for our chamber and for consistently lifting up the voices and accomplishments of women in business and all business owners working to build a stronger, more compassionate community. When I first received the email from Chris, I have to admit, I immediately said, what? Wait, I didn't even know I was nominated. And I definitely didn't expect to be standing here today. But the timing could not have been better. As many of you know, running a business is not always easy. There are a lot of challenges. And recognition at this moment was perfect timing. It was what I truly needed. It was a message of you matter, you're making a difference, and just keep swimming. We all need that kind of encouragement sometimes, and I've been so fortunate to be surrounded by people who inspire me daily and do just that. To Dan Trout, my nominator, thank you. Your long-term belief in me and your kind words have meant the world. To be named alongside so many incredible women in our community, many of whom I've looked up to for years, is something that I will never forget. Thank you to Massasoit for hosting us in this beautiful space, and to Eastern Bank for sponsoring this very special event. Standing here today, I'm reminded that while work often behind the scenes, and while we're doing what we love and building something meaningful, moments like this invite you to pause and look at the journey. When I first started JM Pet Resort and Veterinary Clinic, more than 25 years ago, we're sort of in the same realm where I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, 25 years ago, how could I even be able to run a business for 25 years? I didn't have a grand plan. I did have a lot of heart, a deep love for animals, and a vision. I dreamed of a place where pets were treated like family alike, and passionate people came together to create a culture rooted in care and excellence. Today, that vision has grown into something I never could have imagined. We've impacted tens of thousands of lives, both two-legged and four. And I'm grateful for every single step. This award is not just mine. It belongs to the team, past and present. They show up every single day. They give heart, they give grit, and dedication. You are the soul of this work. Be proud of yourselves. Our work is not easy. It's emotionally demanding and draining, and full of unsung hero moments. But those moments that stretch us, that bind us, I see you and I thank you. What we have built is something so truly special, a place where relationships matter, where compassion and collaboration sit at the heart of every single thing that we do, a place where everyone has a seat at the table, because that's how we rise together. I'm especially moved when I think of those that have been with me from the very beginning. Sandra Vining and Rhonda Guerrero, our vice presidents, have been instrumental in building what JM Pet Resort and Veterinary Clinic is today. Your loyalty and leadership has shaped our foundation. If the walls could talk, right, girls? George Mather has quietly but powerfully supported this journey from the start. Our behind-the-scenes ninja, who is my life and always partner, and always pushing me towards any of my crazy goals. And Nancy Johnson, who's been with us for over a decade, has been a creative force behind so much of our brand and operations, and always the right ace when I need it. To Marion McEwen, for more than 17 years, you have been an instrumental support, beginning with Blue Dog and spanning through the veterinary clinic right up till today when I needed a pin in my dress. There are so many others in this room, and I was told I only had so much time. Team members who have believed in our mission and helped us grow year after year. Many of us have grown up together. I am so blessed to be surrounded by such a remarkable group of long-standing, impactful individuals who make this work and this honor possible. To my amazing family, my parents, thank you for my foundation. You gave me my love for animals and taught me the value of hard work and that integrity matters. To my husband and children, you are the heartbeat of my why. My family is my greatest achievement, and I hope I make you proud. This award also belongs to our incredible clients who've trusted us, stood by us, and championed our growth in the community. And of course, to our four-legged family members who continue to inspire and amuse us daily. Thank you to the support of our team and clients. Because of you, I've had the privilege of working alongside extraordinary mentors, many of which are in the room. And most recently, serving as the chair of the advisory committee to Ollie's Law, this work has challenged me and inspired me, deepening my commitment to advocate for stronger, safer standards for animals across Massachusetts. It's reminded me that leadership isn't just about what we build. It's about how we protect the most vulnerable in our care. I'm grateful that the values that I hold, compassion, collaboration, courage, and service, align with the ATHENA leadership model and the philosophy of enlightened leadership. I don't always get it right. But I strive every day to lead with the heart and to stay guided by a moral compass that puts people and animals first. Because at its core, I believe leadership is about this. Lead from the heart. It's good to care. Live authentically. Be true to who you are and help others do the same. Build relationships. It's the whole reason why we're here. Foster collaboration. We are better together. Give others a seat at the table. When we rise together. Be bold. Act courageously and trailblaze along the way. And give back. Not because you expect something in return, but because it's just the right thing to do. And most of all, celebrate and be excited. I'm always excited because excitement is contagious. There is a quote I carry with me. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Mary Oliver. For me, the answer is simple. Know yourself. And if you don't, get to know yourself. Stay curious. Keep growing. Work hard. It strengthens you. Serve with intention, lead with love, and be accountable in both word and in action. Build with purpose and create space for others to thrive. Uplift those around you and never forget the people and passion and the purpose that brought you here. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for this incredible honor. Get another stamp. Okay. Okay. All right. Great. We're going to bring you back up in a bit. Okay. Thank you. Well, congratulations, Jenny, and so well deserved. So we're changing up the agenda just a little bit to accommodate the Lieutenant Governor's schedule. So it is now my pleasure to introduce Margaret Gazera Hess of Massasoit Community College to introduce the Lieutenant Governor. Margaret serves as Vice President of Human Resources here at Massasoit, where she's a key member of the President's Cabinet. In this leadership role, she oversees strategic talent management, benefits administration, organizational development, and college-wide human resource initiatives. Margaret brings extensive senior-level HR expertise to her work with a strong focus on fostering inclusive practices and advancing institutional success. She holds a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Emmanuel College in Boston and earned the prestigious Senior Professional in Human Resources certification. A seasoned college administrator, Margaret is committed to continuous leadership development and recently completed a cohort through the Executive Leadership Institute. Her work supports Massasoit's mission to provide high-quality education and a supportive environment for students, faculty, and staff. Welcome, Margaret.
Thank you very much. Wow, that was impressive. I guess I am old. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Massasoit Community College. It is truly a pleasure for me to stand before you today at the ATHENA Awards. This event celebrates leadership, mentorship, and the unwavering commitment to lifting women up in every arena. Before we move forward, I just wanted to take a moment to give you an update about the Massasoit Community College Women's Leadership Program. This program had a wonderful start, as many of you know, and was targeted to be the source of support, inspiration, and empowerment for women. While unexpected challenges have necessitated a temporary pause, I want you all to know that Massasoit Community College is committed to our leadership program. We are absolutely committed to it, and we're going to be looking to some of you in this audience for some help, because the next academic year is going to be filled with vibrant things for our women's leadership program. And now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone whose dedication to service and equity has impacted communities across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in very powerful ways. Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll has been a tireless advocate for women, from championing economic opportunities and educational access to addressing disparities in healthcare and leadership opportunities. Her leadership reflects a deep understanding that when women thrive, communities thrive. Yes, clap, because that was meant. She has not only opened doors, but helped build those pathways so others can walk through. As we celebrate the values at the heart of the ATHENA Awards today, there is no better person to help us reflect on that mission. It is both my privilege and my honor to welcome Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll to Massasoit Community College and to the podium.
Thank you, Margaret, for that very warm introduction. I'm going to move Athena, if that's okay. I just want to make sure I can see everybody. I'm going to put her right here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Hey, good afternoon. It is great to be with everyone. I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate the ATHENA Awards right here in Massasoit Community College, near and dear to my heart as part of our administration's efforts, being able to make free community college available and to see the growth in the admissions here is just something that is not only good for the economy, but good for people. You know, we had 750,000 adults in Massachusetts who started community college, and then, you know, life got in the way and they didn't complete it. We initially started with let's make it free for anyone over 25, then made it free for everyone. We've seen double-digit increases, the opportunity for economic mobility to really put people in a position to help support their family. That only happens if we provide those doorways. So thrilled to be here at Massasoit and see the good work that's happening under President Bill Mitchell's leadership. And can't thank the Chamber enough. You know, I was the longtime mayor of Salem, Massachusetts, 17 years in the corner office. I worked in the city of Chelsea as they came out of receivership. Local government is really my love language. I really think it can be transformational working at cities at that local level. And I can't say enough about having a strong chamber, being able to work arm in arm to support a healthy economic and ecosystem. You all are here, yes, because you care about your business and maybe you want to network and there's a better way to build business in those connections. But at the heart of it, you're here because you care about community. And particularly at our chamber levels, local chambers do that every single day. Put that scaffolding in place so we can have solid opportunities to grow healthy, vibrant ecosystems economically. So I just want to congratulate not only the Chamber for the good work they're doing by putting people together, but for all of you for carving out time in a busy day to contribute and give back. Whether it's giving to Little League, supporting schools, hiring folks for their first job, I really believe it's a symbiotic relationship between government and businesses that makes not only communities thrive, but makes Massachusetts thrive. And certainly Eastern Bank. Kim, it was great to hear you and interact with you for the first time. Bob Rivers, Eastern Bank started in Salem, for the record. And Eastern's just been such a long-standing champion of women in business, of economic equality, of supporting communities. When they say join us for good, it's not just a tagline. They really mean that, and that's part of their actions. And certainly Mass Hire Brockton, I know you're here. I just left our State Workforce Investment Board, you know, a crucial partner in ensuring that we have the gaps of skills for job seekers being met and the needs of employers being met, and that happens through those connections that happen locally. So I'm just amazed that we have such a great cross-section here in Brockton to make that all happen, and thrilled to have my partners in the State House here, some of our local partners. I know the mayor's not here. A mayor's job is never done. You are here, great, there's the mayor. I was gonna give you grace because we know how hard it is. I like to say when you're mayor, there's no hiding. You get to make decisions every day and you're going to see constituents, whether that's on the sidelines at youth soccer, in a grocery store, in Mass, whatever it may be. I actually think it's the best form of government because there is no hiding, it drives accountability, it makes us better listeners, and it's the get stuff done branch. You gotta deliver for people every day. So great to see you, Bob. I know Councilor Lally was here as well, and members of the state legislative delegation. You guys have a great delegation, really advocating hard for needs of the community, and great partners to us in terms of that free community college. That doesn't happen unless we've got legislative leaders who support that. So thank you for being here as well. And of course, the star of the show, Jeni Mather, incredible. So inspiring. You can tell a good leader by their commitment and their passion and their care for their team, and that all came through in your remarks. And this award doesn't just recognize someone who's done that their whole career. It celebrates people who lift up and deliver for others and empower them. So congratulations, your hard work is really something that's paid off. Extraordinary. JM Pet Resort. I am the mom of a 6-month-old Bernese Mountain Dog, so I need you professionally as well. She's a 6-month, 60-pound puppy who is going to need some additional training, I think, some of your stewardship. But you've really helped open doors for other women and provided opportunities for individuals to be their best self, 2-legged and 4-legged. And so I want to say congratulations. It was great to hear your remarks, but more importantly, to celebrate who you are in doing the work that you do. And certainly when I think about Jeni's story, I think about my own. You know, I did not have the good fortune to be born in Massachusetts or grow up here. My dad had a long career in the Navy, so I was born in Hawaii, and if you're a military family, you know, you're moving every 3 to 5 years as you're deployed, lived in lots of different places. My mom is from Trinidad, so very much a bicultural community. Anybody in the West Indies in the house? Nope. Okay, thank you very much in the back of the room. It's a great opportunity when you're a military family to really see service up close and personal. And for me, it really gave me, I think, a foothold of what hard work means and what giving back can mean on a larger scale. I came to Massachusetts to go to college. I landed in this little place called Salem, amazing city, really cool history. Well, okay, we weren't so great to women in 1692. That part wasn't always good. But to be able to pick where you get to call your hometown is something pretty special. And Salem for me is this inclusive, historically significant place that enabled an outsider like me to become the first female mayor of that community and to be in a position, thanks Bob, and to be in a position now to serve alongside Governor Healy, the first all-female team to lead the corner office, and to lead with somebody that you really like, respect, and admire. I know the governor was just here a couple of weeks, maybe a few weeks back, is my understanding. And you know, we didn't know each other that well before the primary. In Massachusetts, you sort of run individually until there's a primary, and then you're a team. It's sort of like it's a shotgun marriage, like we're getting married now. And I couldn't ask for somebody, a better person to serve alongside. We actually both did not grow up in Massachusetts. We both come from, you know, I think working class background. We've had to hustle to get what we want, and we like, respect, and admire each other. And when you can do work as a team, we both play a little bit of hoop in college. You may have heard that. So like we're aligned in sort of thinking about how do we make this place better every single day. I think she was a real can-do AG. I like to think I was a can-do mayor. And so we want to get after it. Like we have the great privilege of being in these positions to shape policy and shift resources. And it's a sense of urgency to solve problems. And that's what really drives us every single day. And like I said, I feel fortunate to serve alongside her. And this type of recognition highlights, and being in a room full of community leaders in one shape or form really reminds us of this responsibility that we're given when we're fortunate enough to be in a leadership position. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about the big picture. I know we want to have some Q&A, some of the things we're working on, frankly, some of the ways that you can help, and maybe a few statistics, particularly since you're focused on women's in business and leadership. You know, women-owned businesses in Massachusetts, in the United States generate $2.7 trillion annually. It's a big number. In Massachusetts, women own just about half of the businesses in Massachusetts and make up just about half of the workers. There are over 55,000 women-owned businesses in our state. Think about that. That's a lot of people every single day getting up who have a woman CEO at the top of the scale. In gateway cities like Brockton, certainly, it's undeniable that women are making this a better community. And that's just true. When we invest in women and the opportunity to not only invest in how we support our families, how we support our communities, there's research that shows it makes a better outcome for your family, for your village, for your community, for your country. And so we find, as an administration, we want to support and uplift opportunities for women to be successful. It's one of the reasons we're proud that Massachusetts was ranked the #1 place for women and working moms, because we're an economic engine here. We see that value, we empower it. We have the most diverse cabinet of any administration in Massachusetts history. We believe in making room for others deeply in our soul. Part of it because we think it's the right thing to do, but part of it because it's better outcomes. None of us are as smart as all of us. Let's put all of us around the table, make room for more. We're going to lead to better outcomes. We're proud to be ranked the #1 state economy in the country. Of all 50 states, including Puerto Rico, we are #1. That's not by chance. It's because we take that time to invest in people and make that room for others. We were ranked the best state for women thanks to things like equal pay laws, access to health care, and a business environment that increasingly supports women entrepreneurs and women leaders. Women-led startups in our gateway cities, executives that are in our C-suites, whether it's in global life sciences sector, women are driving and growing our economy every single day. We were ranked the best state for working parents. Again, no surprise. We understand that economic success depends on the family success. So we've expanded access to childcare. We've got paid family and medical leave. We've made investments in early education, all geared towards this ecosystem of how do we get better. We're the best state for education, #1. We have been for a number of years. And that's also because of the investments we make in our K through 12 settings, in our universities. We're not only making it more affordable to go to college. You know, when I went to Salem State, you could hustle all summer. Like, I painted houses, I worked basketball camps, I was a very bad waitress, and I still made enough money to sort of pay tuition and pay for all the fees and make it through. And that's just not true anymore for too many of our students. The state had lacked investments in, frankly, our public higher ed system, and it grew the cost, and it made it unattainable for too many people. That's why we made it a requirement that we're going to make community college free, but we're also going to make sure our public higher ed, our four-year institutions, the UMass system, the state universities, those college costs are going down too, and it's following the student. If you are an economically disadvantaged student, you can go to college for free. If you are a middle income student, we have cut those costs in half because we know this is a source of frustration for families, and if you have the acumen and the fire in your belly to go to college, you ought to be able to go, and you can in Massachusetts. We believe we're the best state for innovation, and that's not just us. This has been ranked from a number of research bureaus and surveys across the country. That's because we lead the nation in healthcare, in life sciences. We have the most life sciences company, including global headquarters and outpost, of any other state or country. That means that we do things every single day that are different here. I believe that there's this restless energy in Massachusetts. Like, we make the impossible possible, whether it's life-saving drug therapies and cures, or how we think about the delivery of tiny semiconductors that are helping safeguard our country and all kinds of manufacturing equipment and pieces of our lives nowadays. And every 4 years, the state goes through a process of looking at our economic development strategy. It's required by statute. It's a good thing. Hey, what's working? What's not working? What do we want to invest in? It's followed by a blueprint, which we call the Mass Leads Act. When we completed last year's actually in 24, their opportunity to see, hey, where are we going to drive the economy? We're focused on two areas. One, how do we leverage what we're doing well right now? You think about what are Massachusetts' strengths. Certainly life sciences, foothold there. Advanced manufacturing, really good at that. We led the Industrial Revolution, that continues in that space. Areas like robotics, right? Places that require smart technology. Where are we going in terms of the next economy? Where are the places, as Wayne Gretzky used to say, I don't want to go where the puck is, I want to go to where it's going to be. For us, it's areas like applied AI. How do we think about applying AI to some of the research and R&D here that is so strong? Where do we think about quantum? How do we invest in the next technologies that are going to be used today? How do we think about the intersection of that with education and workforce development demands? So our Mass Leads Act makes investments not only in our bread and butter issues, but also in what comes next. We think a lot of that could be climate tech as well. How do we get better at finding ways to have clean energy, to use efficiency so that energy costs are going down, to decarbonize so that we're doing better for the planet? That's tied to our economy, just like healthcare is tied to our economy. Sitting here with Sue, who did a wonderful job at the Community Health Center here for a number of years. We know that when we think about the intersection between economic development and education, this is the space that we occupy that can make Massachusetts be a source of a strong economy, not just for today. Like, we have to worry about today, but we also have to worry about 10 and 15 and 20 years from now. At a time like this, more than ever, that's really critical. Our overall goal is to make sure Massachusetts is a state that's more affordable, more equitable, and more competitive. And there are other states, and I know when the governor was here, she was talking about what are we shredding? What are we looking at to make it easier to do business? That's really critical to us because we have competition. There are other states, I'll pick on North Carolina, Research Triangle area there. They want to be the life sciences capital. There are other states who want to lead in robotics. There are other states who look at AI and think it should be them that leads in that area. And so we've got to be smart, we've got to be strategic, and most importantly, we've got to bring people together and demonstrate how these investments really matter in your lives going forward. One of the biggest areas we hear about, no matter where we are in terms of concerns, right? Because when you're looking at how you can be a strategic leader and be more competitive, it's not just what are our attributes, where are the challenges and what can we do about it? And one of the key challenges we have is in housing. I can tell you no matter what city or town I'm in, there are 351 cities and towns. I visit a lot of them. Small, tiny towns like Beckett, Mass., larger communities here like Brockton, and everything in between. And the number one issue I hear about is housing. Not enough housing, not enough that's affordable. And we know that is the truth because we see 26 to 35-year-olds who are leaving Massachusetts. And why are they leaving Massachusetts? Because they want to do the same thing that most of us did when we were 26 to 35 years old. Build a house, put down roots, start a family. And because of the cost of housing, that is a real obstacle. If you think about it for a moment, college prices shot up, so kids are graduating from college with higher debt. Then you go to buy a home. Homes are way more expensive. Salem was a gateway city, like Brockton is a gateway city. We used to be the affordable place where you could pour coffee or pour beer for a living, put a roof over your head. Those are no longer possible for too many people, the people that we rely on every single day. Whoever you're dropping your children off with at the beginning of the day, who might be helping care for an older adult, that favorite person who takes care of your four-legged creature every day, they need a place to live in our community too. And so housing is an area where we know we have to tackle this and lean in. We passed the largest investment in the state's history with the Affordable Homes Act, $5.2 billion designed to accelerate the pace of housing growth. And I want to congratulate Bob and Brockton. You all have done a lot in that space. You are put out the "We are open for more housing" because I think you realize when we have more housing, it drives down the cost of housing in our community and the cost of growth from the perspective of enabling the people we rely on to live here. And if we don't tackle this, and if we don't lean in, we've got young adults, you may have some in your own household, I have some too, that are saddled with college debt, who are also looking to build a home here and can't do it. They may be the first generation to not do as well as their parents. And I don't know about you, but I'm not okay with that. Somebody helped me. I had the good fortune to have mentors, to recognize that I had an opportunity, whether it was as a youth, moving around the country in lots of different places, as a college student who started as an intern at City Hall and realized the power of local government, or in this role in the State House, being able to shape policies and shift resources. We have to do things that are good for community and good for people and enable that next generation to be uplifted and empowered. It starts with all of us in this room, particularly around housing. I'll tell you, it's a little bit of a source of frustration because there are lots of super intractable problems in government, really hard to solve stuff. Housing isn't one of them. We just need to build more housing. It's not that hard. So what's making it hard is, everyone doesn't think of housing in their community as the favorite thing to go support. And I can tell you, as someone who's been in local government, I can tell you that 10 people are going to show up to fight housing, or anything sometimes that might be happening. And what we need to do is make sure we're being smart about it. This doesn't mean build anything, anyhow, anyway. It means let's engage. Let's identify this as a real challenge in our community, and the people that we care about are harmed by it. So how do we put our heads together and determine where can housing go, and then how do we support it locally? How do we make the ecosystem available so that we're not putting up barricades to housing, that we're actually making it easier? And we're certainly committed to that. We know it takes resources from the state. Frankly, you need a solid state partner if you're in local government. And we're going to make sure we continue in that space because it's not okay with us that 26 to 35-year-olds don't have a place to live. And I'll say this for the older folks in the room. We also our fastest growing population are actually aging seniors, right? We have 20% of our population is over 60 in Massachusetts. And we're all living longer. Hooray! We're going to need a different type of housing, though. We're going to need supportive housing models. We want to stay in our community where we have a support system. So I hope that we can count on folks in this room. We're really working hard because I think small businesses have more of a voice in this than they even know about. When the local coffee shop owner or the hospital president comes to a community meeting and says, hey, we need this housing, how do we figure out how to do it together? It can be a really powerful voice to get the housing built that we need. So I hope that's an area that we can work on with you. And look, these aren't just policies on paper. These are people. These are opportunities for communities to grow and thrive. And we know here in Massachusetts, when we stick to those values, they really matter. We're the place that 250 years ago got this whole thing started. We'll be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution next year as a country. But for those of us from Massachusetts, we started a little while ago. The 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party was last year. This year we celebrated Lexington and Concord and the amazing individuals who really were just ordinary people. They were merchants and farmers and blacksmiths who came together and risked life and limb. And this idea of something called self-governance, of democratic principles, of fundamental freedoms, they had no idea how it would end. And they took on the greatest military empire known to mankind without really understanding what the outcome would be. That started here in Massachusetts. I think that revolutionary spirit is still alive today. It leads us in all of these areas, from our life sciences industry to our restlessness to figure out what is next, that we can make the impossible possible. Like, we believe that. We own up to it. And at a time like this, when it can feel like somebody described it to me as there's a lot of noise out of the federal government, I thought that was very diplomatic, by the way. There is a lot of noise at the federal government. Right now, it feels like the federal government is undermining many of the efforts that we care deeply about in Massachusetts, from cuts to NIH and the Science Foundation funding, that's to the tune of over $3 billion, to individuals in our community who we love and support, who we need, who are working hard to be here, to efforts, frankly, to create chaos. None of that is helpful in terms of how we, as Massachusetts, these important values that started this country, espouse to be. But here, I can tell you that you have two women leaders who are going to stand up for communities, stand up for Massachusetts values, continue to lead in a respectful way by doing all the hard work. We've got to work on transportation, we've got to work on housing, we've got to grow a strong economy. What are the things we can control? And then we got to call out the harms for things that aren't good for us. No one wants to pick a fight with higher education. No one wants to pick a fight cutting veterans' benefits. No one wants the uncertainty of tariffs and what that might mean for our businesses, small ones to large ones. We're pro-growth, we're pro-Massachusetts, and we're pro-values that got us to be number one in all those areas. We're going to continue to stand up for that, and we're hoping we can count on all of you to lean in and do the work that makes this place different. We fought like heck 250 years ago to stand up this democracy. The least we can do is fight like heck to preserve it, and that's how we're going to lead in this Commonwealth. So thank you for having me here today. Congratulations again to Jen and the great work you're doing. Looking forward to being back and continuing to partner with you in all the ways that we can make not only Brockton and this region special, but Massachusetts as a whole. Let's go, Team Massachusetts. Okay, well, let's do it. Go sit down.
We'll have to move Jenny's flowers.
I'm not going to take Jenny's flowers.
All right, well, thank you so much for great remarks and for all you do and for your support of women. And Chris says due to time, 2 questions.
2 questions, all right. Moments from a clean getaway. Let's do it.
So the Mass Reconnect program, I say first of all, my 27-year-old son is about to graduate his free associate's degree. How do you see that impacting the workforce?
Yeah, so it's so important that we have on-ramps for opportunities for economic mobility. Individuals who either started, as I said, and may not have had the opportunity to finish for lots of reasons, life got in the way. Individuals who aren't necessarily sure what they want to do and need an on-ramp after they've started something else. Particularly when we know technology and AI are going to transform what jobs look like. Who knew when I graduated from college that you could have a job developing an app on a phone, right? None of that existed, and there's going to be that opportunity going forward for things we're not aware of. So we see the opportunity for Free Community College to do 2 things. One, develop the skill sets we need here in Massachusetts. We're a knowledge-based economy. We still have lots of openings in advanced manufacturing, in healthcare, that you need a credential or a skill. We want to make sure folks have access to do that. And then what's the on-ramp look like for what comes next? When we think about the jobs that we can't even define right now, how do you get retrained? How do you change careers? What's that look like? Well, Free Community College creates the on-ramp for that as well. And we think that's great in terms of the workforce and the talent. One of the reasons Massachusetts is #1 in so many of those areas I mentioned is because of people and talent. So that's our like superpower. And you can't have that talent and superpower without having access for people to get those credentials, learn those skills, grow in their career or as a career changer.
Great, thanks. You talked a little bit about the impact of disruption at the federal level on the state.
Noise, right?
Noise.
Very diplomatic.
Can you talk about that a little bit more specifically around the economic impact for small businesses and how do we maintain the ability of small businesses to thrive and grow and develop in this environment?
I mean, we're very concerned by it. You know, states need a strong federal partner the same way local communities need a strong state partner. And we really felt like we were in a positive trajectory. We were reaping tremendous amounts of federal funding for infrastructure and demands that we have as an older state. There's lots of that happening. And we recently had, I'd say 35, almost 40 businesses came in to talk about tariffs as one particular policy we're concerned about. And to a business, these were small mom and pops, we had like a chocolatier in the room, to large global company CEOs. Not one of them thought tariffs were something that they were going to benefit from in their business. They were concerned about the uncertainty, concerned about either prices going up for the things they were buying or the things they were selling, the ability to retain staff, knowing that the economic uncertainties that existed. So we're definitely concerned about what that could mean for Massachusetts. That's not even counting the billions of dollars lost in funding tied to NIH Science Foundation. Like life-saving drug therapies. Nobody wants cancer trials at Dana-Farber to prevent a rare cancer of children. That seems to be working. We're going to cancel that trial. Less postdocs mean less opportunity for discovery of things that we can do here that will be commercialized and be good for somebody's health. That's a real challenge. What do we do about it? Well, we certainly call it out as a harm that it is. We have to talk about the harms. Nobody wants to pick a fight with Washington or with an administration. We're here to work with the federal government, but if they are doing things that are harmful, we do have to call it out. And for us, we also want to look at opportunities to bring together collective action. One of the report outs of this meeting we had with businesses was, okay, let's figure out what we can do within our own ecosystem. So we've set up something we call TURBO, and it stands for opportunities to bring together advanced manufacturers, other businesses that might be here, if folks are going to be onshoring, so we can be mindful of what are the companies here that we can work with. If we're all in this together, let's make sure we're sharing what we're doing and producing here. Frankly, it's led by Massachusetts, but all of New England can be one ecosystem. How do we think about standing up for making sure you have options when you're thinking about where you might be able to purchase things? We know there are opportunities for us to collaborate more in this space, whether that's through the NIH and the Science Foundation cuts. And I think I just want to say that's really key for us. We do believe none of us are as smart as all of us. Putting more people in the room to tackle this challenge of federal noise, which has led to uncertainty, is a real harm. We're trying to build more housing. Where do you think we import most of our lumber? From Canada, next door. We're trying to build a stronger tourism opportunity and creative economy here. Where do a lot of people come to Massachusetts to visit? From Canada. It's 20% down right now. So we have to call it the harm, so hopefully we can get some shapes in policy, and we need to come together more in both strategy and action. And I think that is something we think is a skill here in Massachusetts. We like each other. We want for success, and we're good at collective action, so we're going to lean into that space.
Great. Well, thank you so much for all the advocacy you and the governor are doing on our behalf, on behalf of women, businesses, housing, just bringing Massachusetts to a better place. While you're still on stage, I would ask the state delegation, the mayor, Chris, and Jenny to all come back for a quick picture, and then we will finish the presentations. But thank you so much for all you do, and of course you get the chamber pen.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I really want to thank Massasoit and President Mitchell for hosting today. I was running late because the Council on Aging today did the Elder Abuse Awareness March at 12 o'clock at the COA, so that's why I was running late. But I want to thank Jeni Mather for what her and her team does each and every day here in the city of Brockton. I met Jeni probably 15 years ago when I was a new counselor. I filed a resolve to have her come before us to talk about what she was doing with Blue Dog and all the different endeavors. So I'm so proud that she's been awarded this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful esteemed award. And I also have to give a shout out to Kim Driscoll. I know the LG's heading out right now, but Lieutenant Governor is a dear friend of mine personally. When I became elected mayor, it was right before the pandemic, and every Sunday night, Kim and Marty Walsh, who was then the Boston mayor, would host a Zoom. And I was included in that Zoom. And then when the deficit came to light with the schools, Kim was the first one to reach out, and she fostered a wonderful relationship with A&F and with DOR and with DESE to weather the storm in Brockton. So when she comes here, it's like an old homecoming. I mean, she's a basketball champion. They won the D3 championship at Salem State when she was on the team, so she is a champion in the City of Champions. So I really want to thank Jeni for her growth and her commitment to the city of Brockton and the team. She hires a lot of Brocktonians, but she makes a difference each and every day. And the ATHENA Award is a really distinguished elite award, and I can't think of anybody better to be awarded than Jeni Mather. So congratulations on that, Jeni. And again, I just also have to thank Chris Cooney and the Chamber of Commerce for what they do each and every day. They help Brockton, but much more than that, Brockton and beyond, and the board. And since we're talking about women leader, I have to thank my Chief of Staff, Sydney Marrow, for what she does at City Hall each and every day. And I'm going to give a shameless plug as well, because I'm not running again, and I won't be the mayor next year at the ATHENA. There'll be a new mayor, whoever he or she is, or whoever she or he is. But I will be in the audience to support this wonderful endeavor. But we are going to have women's professional soccer coming to Brockton. It's the Boston Legacy FC. And Boston Legacy FC is professional women's soccer. It's owned by Jennifer Epstein and some other distinguished women from Massachusetts. They will be building an unbelievable state-of-the-art facility on Howard Street near Holbrook, but it's in Brockton. They're also going to have their housing built there for the professional women athletes. Home games are going to be in Boston with Mayor Wu at White Stadium. But here in Brockton, they're going to have an unbelievable facility, a training facility. But more than that, there's going to be 4 or 5, 6, I think 6 actually, soccer fields for the youth in Brockton and in South Shore and beyond. So again, we are going to always highlight the dedicated women that truly make the City of Champions and the Commonwealth and the country a special place, including my wife, Maria Louise. So God bless you all. Thank you. Thanks, Jenny.
No, you can't go.
Okay.
I'd like to invite Jim and the state delegation up. I believe you have a citation from the state legislature.
Yes. Representatives in the state senate. Oh, hi. Congratulations. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks, Sue. And thank you everyone for being here today. And I just want to make note that the Brockton State House legislative delegation is all females. So there are 3 females. Yes. So this is particularly exciting for me because I am so happy to be here with my JM family, because that is really what you have built. I know when I walk through those doors that my dogs are going to be happy, healthy, cared for, always greeted with smiling faces, some of which are here today. Hi, guys. Woo-hoo. You guys truly steered me through the loss of my first dog, which was devastating to me, but it was a family. So I was getting texts. I was getting calls. I got flowers, all from JM. And I was like, this is amazing. But once you walk through those doors, it really is a family. So thank you. I'm so honored to be here today to present you with a citation from the House of Representatives. So be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Jeni Mather in recognition of receiving the 2025 ATHENA Awards for your exceptional contributions to your community and your positive I like it. Impact on women in business. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this 12th day of June 2025, it's signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, myself, State Representative Bridget Plouffe, and then also State Representative Michelle Dubois and State Representative Rita Mendez. So congratulations. And now Jim from Senator Brady's office.
Hello, folks. It is my distinct honor to have a citation from the State Senate, and I'm going to read it. Essentially, it says the same thing. Bridget, thank you so much. I'm going to need these. Okay. This is an official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Jeni Mather in recognition of your being the deserving recipient of the 27th Annual ATHENA Leadership Awards presented by the Metro South Chamber of Commerce. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, Karen Spilka, Michael Curley, the Clerk, and Michael D. Brady. Congratulations.
Very overwhelming. And I don't get what overwhelming.
Okay, everybody shift over this way just a little bit, don't keep walking off the edge. Oh, that's good. Perfect. Good. Good, and take it right this way, big smiles, and one more. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now I ask everybody to join me in one more round of applause for our 2020. All right, thank you all and congratulations again. And now just for some final announcements. First of all, we have a few chamber updates. Business night at the Xfinity Center to celebrate the new...
Microphone's off.
My microphone's off. Is that better? Yes. All right. Business night at the Xfinity Center to celebrate a new VIP reception area called the Backyard. That's June 18th from 5 to 8 p.m. See Hannah for more details. The release of the 2025-2026 annual Metro South Guide with 100 pages of extraordinary quality of life information about this dynamic region will be ready at the end of June. See Emma for more details. And finally, the summer edition of the Chamber Action Report is available in early June with more information on the fun Brockton Rock season and the very busy fall months ahead. We hope to see you at Chamber programs throughout the summer and fall. For more information on coming events, visit the Chamber's website, which is metrosouthchamber.com. So to finish up with some thank yous and also to recognize that State Rep Michelle Dubois came in after the introduction. So thank you, Representative Dubois, for being here as well. So thanking today's guest speaker, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, the Enterprise newspaper, Rich Morgan Photography, Brockton Community Access, Metro South Ambassador Team, Chamber staff, Emma, Chris, and Hannah, the premier sponsor, Eastern Bank, the supporting sponsor, Mass Hire, host sponsor, Massasoit Community College, along with President Bill Mitchell. And let's have one more round of applause for Jeni Mather, our 2025 award winner. And last, before we go, it's the prizes. We have some exciting door prizes today. The first is a member profile in the action report, the Chamber newsletter distributed through the Enterprise, as well as a $25 gift card and 4 golf balls from Eastern Bank. So the winner is Barbara Arena from Granite State Development. You don't have to come up. So you can see Emma at the back before you leave. Second, from our premier sponsor, Eastern Bank, a $50 Amex card and golf balls. The winner is Cheryl McCormick, RFCU. Third, from Mass Hire, a $25 gift card and information for 1 free summer intern to assist your staff. And a backpack courtesy of our host, Massasoit Community College. So the winner is Brenda Carnes, OCES. Additionally, at each table there's a bouquet of flowers. The attendee at each table with a birthday nearest to the winner is welcome to take that home. Thank you, happy Father's Day, and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all for coming.